Hello, this is National Chess Master R. Rats, continuing my video series on the correspondence team match between my video lessons group at chess.com and CARPE DIEM. And this one was played on board 102. Rating advantage it was around 1700 to 1600, right in that ballpark. White's rating's gone way up, I see, on the Finnish PGN. He's over 1900 now. So maybe that'll speak somewhat for why White wins both games. But actually, the reason White wins both games, not only does he play well, but Black doesn't do his, or marcoflores doesn't do his opening research, and we'll see why in a minute as we conduct these games. So Farhad 123, my hat's off. You played two nice games. But if you're going to play a book opening, you need to research it, because the moment you try to go on your own and not research what's happening, you run the risk that you're going to go into a variation that's just plain out bad for you, and it happens very quickly in both games. This is the Slav defense, the Queen's Gambit decline. We've all seen this position before, I would hope. And here, the main line, and it's proven, the main line is White needs to play a4 right now. And the reason White needs to play a4 right now is because Black is threatening to play b5 and hold on to his pawn. Now there's direct variations of the Queen's Gambit accepted, where when Black tries this strategy he runs into trouble, but this is not that same position. And what White plays is e4, and essentially this gives Black almost a strategically winning game right now on move 5. So obviously, White didn't look up the book. Look this opening at a book. Modern chess openings is inexpensive. Free chess online databases. Google them; they're there. Or purchase a ChessBase, and you'll get the all the analysis and game variations that you need. And then you play those over and just decide which ones you like. Now, the ChessBases will show you how often certain moves were played. Like this move was played 98% of the time, and usually there's a reason why it's played 98% of the time. It's doing quite well, or it'll show the win and loss percentages of various openings. So essentially, from this point on, Black is doing great. All he has to do is just keep it up. And here's one of these rook pawn moves. Well, this move serves no purpose for White. I've talked about these rook pawn moves before. It does not develop a piece. Black is not planning to play b4. He's planning to hold on to this pawn on c4. That's what he's trying to do. I don't think he has time for a4. Let's see. But I'm not sure. I'm sure that position has been tried before. But they discovered this works for Black. Black is doing fine. Okay. So I'm not sure what point they're going to leave the book, because generally speaking, White does not play e4 and allow Black to get b5 in. So White's always looking for compensation for the pawn. He's got a pawn setter, but that's all he really has. He doesn't have anything else. Now this is actually helping Black. This is sending the bishop to where it wants to be, where it attacks a pawn. Thank you very much for developing my bishop to a better square. Okay. Now the queen steps into a pin, and you say, what? How does the queen step into a pin? Well, see this pawn? It's pinned. Let's take advantage of that. Knight d5, and now something puzzling just totally happens. White pitches a piece. White does not see that his bishop on f4 is loose, and it just boggles my mind how, when you have 3 days to move, that people can do this. And the answer is they move too fast. I don't know how many games marcoflores is carrying. Maybe 200 games. That's too many. 50 is too many. 20 is too many. You want to get good at chess, you play just a few correspondence games and analyze the heck out of them. Here, just simply put the bishop on d2 if you want, or back it up to g3 and be playing a pawn down. That's all you have to do. But White blunders his piece, doesn't see that it's loose, and Now it's just a matter of mop-up time. Knight's on a terrific outpost. It can't be driven from that square. Why can't it be driven from that square? Well, because white moved both his e-pawn and his g-pawn up. And now no pawn can contest that knight. And black's a piece ahead. And just really, there's not much to this game. Because strategically, black is completely winning. A clear piece ahead. If white hadn't pitched a piece, there'd still be some fight in it, but there's no fight in this game unless black blunders. You can't rely on your opponent to blunder. This is not good. This just gives black a new square. He starts eyeballing it. Thank you very much. Look at that. See? Look at that knight. Both knights. They're just extremely strong. And you should be trying to trade pawns, not pieces. Okay? Keep your pieces on the board. You need them. That's what you do when you're down material. You trade pawns, not pieces. And black decides, well, it's time to break open the position. You're not going to attack my king. The only thing you have really developed is your queen. And this pawn is pinned, by the way. It can't take on c5. Well, I guess it could, but you're going to drop a rook down here on d1. And then the queen will slip back to d8 and guard that rook, if need be. Man, I don't know. Let's take a look at that. Maybe I just see a check here at the end of all this. Now, you don't have to play queen d8, but let's see. Does this check get white anywhere? If maybe black has to return the rook. Let's see. By that I mean queen c7, because if you don't, things start falling. Okay, well, maybe you can get away with it. Let's see. King c7. Yeah, you don't have to. You can. Black just wins this easily from this point on. Oh no, he has one more check. How about this, huh? Now let's see. Dare we bring the king up further? This is interesting. Did black analyze that, or white? Did white analyze this possibility? Did black? I don't know. But I'm just discovering it now. Maybe. What if white sneaks a perpetual check out of this? That's a big oops. Black could play too quick and run himself into trouble. Now, I guess there's a perpetual unless you take this pawn. Now look at that king. Look how exposed he is. Oh, hey, look what I got. There's a pawn with check. Have another check. Now is white running out of checks? I don't think so. Okay, come back here. Maybe he's finally going to run out of checks here. But look what happened. As I said, you win the rook back. Now, black's still going to be winning. Eventually, you have to give the rook back. I was trying to show what happens if black tries to keep the rook. But it certainly makes for interesting to analyze something like this and discover resources that maybe you can call on next game. No game will duplicate itself. Well, like once in a while they will, but they're usually quick games. But plans will duplicate, and it's worth investigating. Like they say, look at the active moves: threats, captures, and checks. Yes, it hangs a rook, but the theme is. I caught it real quick. If you could play this back when I started, I said I started seeing something. I said, well, let's take a look, because I saw something which I demonstrated. If black tries to avoid giving back the rook, white may get a perpetual check, and it looked like white would have unless black gave the rook back. But black's still winning. He's still a piece up. But what else has white got to play for? You've got to analyze this. Too many people look, I can't play pawn takes. I hang a rook with check. Well, look further. If the queen takes the pawn, you get the rook back. I mean, black's still winning, but white's got to try something. The alternative is to resign. Okay, let's move forward. And now it's just a matter of liquidation, and there's really not much more going on here. White's chances are gone, and white actually helps black by trading pieces here. So you look at that. Whoops. Black has an outside pass pawn. Black has pawns everywhere. Well, here's white trying something. He found himself a pass pawn, but it's not long for the world. See, there it goes. It's going to be going, gone. And now at this point, white resigned. Now let's look at the other game. And again, opening mistakes. Let's back this up. Okay. Here we have the Alban counter gambit, a very interesting gambit. Black sacrifices a pawn for activity. But black messes this one up too right out of the opening. And I've covered this before. E3 is a bad move because of bishop b4 check. And the most common move is g3. But a3 is playable. But black needs to... I'll come back here, screen. Black needs to do his research here. What's the purpose of a3? Well, first it takes b4 away. But the second reason is, sneakily, white wants to play b4 himself. So there's 3 plans for black here in this position. And if you look up the database, you'll find out that these are the most common moves played. One is to play a5 and stop b4, because if white plays it, he's going to drop his pawn back. The other is to play knight ge7. The purpose of this is to get this knight to g6 so you can get counterplay on that pawn on e5. And the third choice is to play bishop g4. That puts some pressure on the knight on f3. Maybe white will have to suffer some double pawns, and black will quickly recapture his gambited pawn on e5. But he played a move which is rarely played, and white wins 98% of the time. So did he have a novelty in mind? I don't think so, and we'll see why with the next move. Because now, I guess black was afraid of this, and this is not a move white really wants to play. It gives c5 away. So here we have another rook pawn preventing a move that white doesn't want to play. And now white simply puts a third attacker on this pawn on d4, and that's the strength of black's position. He's wedged that pawn into white's game to cramp his development. Now it's going to be lost. So black figures out the only way he's going to get active is to sacrifice another pawn. But just like that, white is 2 pawns ahead. 2 pawns in 9 moves. Black has a slight development advantage. He's got 3 minor pieces developed to 2, but that's not enough. You need 3 tempos for a pawn. You need 6 tempos for 2 pawns. White is winning on move 9. It's that simple. And here's black obliging white by trading pieces. Let's develop your pieces. Let's get rid of your queen. Strategically, black is just messing this up. He has no play, no hope. It's just a matter of attrition. White will trade pieces, and eventually black will have a lost game. He gives up another pawn, but it kind of messes up the white queenside pawns. But that's not enough. Black doesn't have enough activity. Okay. Let's trade some more. Well, black is a happy piece trader, and white's delighted to trade pieces. Now improves the position of his bishop. And here comes another check. Drive that king over to the side or the corner. And now black doesn't pay attention because now he's going to drop the exchange. Whoops! Bishop c7. Now the one thing black has going for him is 2 bishops and an open board. You'll see that the bishops get some activity and make some threats and chase the white rooks around a little bit, but it's just not enough. And hey, let's trade some more. Black's a happy trader. Now let's see. White's up the exchange, or the quality as is known in Europe, plus a pawn. Black has one little trump, a pass pawn here. But it's not enough. It takes a long time to get that pawn going and have the bishops adequately support it. So white offers another trade, and black decides to decline. Usually black was happily trading pieces, but declining is going to cost him his passed pawn, as we will see. There it goes, because of the pin. And white just activates his rook. And black has to chase it just a little bit, but not too much. There goes another pawn. And this is just about it. Thanks for the next pawn. And at this point, black decided to resign. I don't blame him for resigning, but black certainly didn't have much fight in him. He was always trading pieces in both games. Violated the rule I mentioned in the first game. When you're down material, trade pawns, not pieces. So what can I say? Well played by Farhead 123. You were given a relatively easy time of it. Marco, you're going to have to look up your book openings, okay? Or this is going to happen to you again and again and again. And I thank everyone for their time for looking, and take care. Be back for the next one soon.